It's an honor to have you here.
Chuck, thank you. I did not hear a lot of snapping when he talked about it. And the salmonella, it's a total non sequitur, but the salmonella that Doug was talking about, you'll see in the paper tomorrow. We announced today, after we put these ratings on restaurants, A, B, C, grade pending, whatever, something like 70% of the restaurants in the city have now worked their ways up to A. And salmonella, which is something that's really a serious stomach poisoning you can get, is down 14% in New York City, and it's unchanged in every bar, in every county around New York City and over in New Jersey. So it's really just because of the ratings, all of a sudden the kitchens and the restaurants really are cleaner, and people are getting sick from food poisoning a lot less. And the people say, well, it costs the restaurateurs a lot. It turns out that restaurant sales, food and booze are up off the charts. It's gone up 9% in the last 8 months alone. But anyways, that's just another thing. It's good news, and it had nothing to do with education. He just brought it up. Anyways, thank you. This is a terrific benefit and good chance to support Harlem Prep School. It really is bound to become, I think, one of the best in the city for kindergarten through 5th grade, and if not, I'm going to come back after you and Andrew and I wanted to thank Democracy Prep's founder, Seth Andrew, and Executive Director, Katie Duffy. And yes, they deserve and the entire team at Harlem Prep for their incredible commitment. You know, often we talk about the challenges in building a successful venture, whether that is a business or a school, from the ground up, and I know a little bit about doing that. But there's another challenge that really requires very special people to pull it off. It's a lot more difficult, and that's seeing the beauty in someone else's vision and transforming it into something that really touches people's lives for the better. And that's what the Democracy Prep team is doing. The challenge that they have taken on, the first charter-to-charter turnaround in history, is an inspiration, and I hope you know that we're all cheering for you guys to succeed, and we'll do everything we can to help. Yes, thank you, and thank you, teachers. I just want you to know that my academic record was such that I always made the top half of the class possible. Turned out okay, though, don't worry about it. I actually got a chance to meet a few of Harlem Prep scholars last month when I held a press conference in the building that they call home. And the kids gave me a yellow hat, and they taught me Harlem Prep's simple yet powerful motto: work hard, go to college, change the world. And it just goes to show you can do it in a very few words. You can describe what life is all about. Harlem Prep believes that with great instruction, high standards, and hard work, every child, in this case all 270 scholars, can and will succeed. And that's a vision that our administration shares for all the kids in the city. It's why we're so committed to reforming New York's once broken school system, and the new teacher evaluation system we've negotiated with Andrew Cuomo, and hopefully that the teachers union will not try to stop in the courts or by not negotiating the last few little details, will really give parents the information that they need to make decisions. One of the things that's happening in our city today is that the public schools are becoming the schools of choice in many cases instead of the private schools, and a number of parents are in the conundrum that their kids have been accepted this year in private schools. The private schools want a deposit. It's non-refundable in many cases, but they don't know whether their child's gotten into the public school where they'd really like to go till the end of the month. And if we moved up the date when we gave out the assignments, the private schools would just move up their date. They don't want the competition. But there are actually people in Nassau County lying about where they live so they can send their kids into New York to go to New York City public schools. It's really a great turnaround in 10 years. And we've got to keep working hard to do it, keep it going, and hopefully it won't all get rolled back with people who don't like change and don't want improvement and want to keep the schools bad so that they're run to the people that work there rather than the people who we're supposed to help, and that's our children. You know, we have 75,000 teachers in the public school system, and most of them are the best group of teachers anybody's ever put together. Not everyone. There are some who can't do the job, and we've got to help them and try to train them and make them better. We have a big investment in them. And then there's some that just either can't or don't want to work and can't educate our kids, and those are the ones that we have to find a different career for. because the most important thing is a great teacher in front of every child, and I think they up there can really tell you that that's exactly what's true. I read recently that every teacher at Harlem Prep gets a laptop and a BlackBerry, so the parents and scholars can always reach them. Is that true? Okay, well, it's called, that's what part of what Katie calls the hard work culture. And that won't be easy. Nothing, doing anything isn't easy. But if you look in the eyes of the kids that attend these schools, or any school, you know how important the stakes are. These schools are their schools and their futures. It's not yours and mine. We're through with school. But these young people have a chance to live in the greatest democracy ever created. But living in that democracy, if you can't read and you can't write and you don't understand how to put things in context and the history of this country, and you don't appreciate all those people who fought for the last 230 years that we have the freedoms we take so seriously, then, you know, it's just not, you don't get a chance to really participate. And you can't participate unless you get a great education. So we're not going to stop until there is a great teacher in front of every child in our entire school system. And this organization really is taking us in that direction. Now, I'm going to introduce a rising star in New York. I know you all say, oh, Jeremy Lin? I gotta digress. There was a sports reporter, Jeremy Lin, the other day, who scored a lot of points, and the sports reporter said, Jeremy Lin, he came out of nowheres. Well, if Harvard University's nowheres, we've got to rethink education. Anyways, this guy is more important than Jeremy Lin, who's a great basketball player. I'm not taking anything away from him. And he provides great entertainment for a lot of people. But this guy really is somebody that's going to change the world. And I'm talking about Democracy Prep's founder and superintendent, Seth Andrew. And just like our school's chancellor, Dennis Walcott, Seth is a proud product of New York City public schools. I unfortunately am not. I did not have the luxury of going to New York City's public schools. I went to public schools in Medford, Massachusetts. My elementary school is now an apartment building. My junior high school is now a shopping center. And the high school burnt down and they put apartments in it anyways. With 6 schools and some of the highest performing teachers in the city, Seth and his team really have made us proud. Seth,